Good evening folks, welcome back to the channel and the last video of 2024. I hope you're all having a lovely Christmas time. I've seen lots of other charities doing end of year roundups, so I figured I should get one done for TBF. Back in January we had our first major success on our current pipeline project in the village of Saura, when we completed our intake tank and pump house. This however emptied the coffers in the TBF account, and the next 6 months were spent working on fundraising. Since I started TBF, the funds have been mainly coming in from followers of the TBF Facebook page. So this year, I set out to find 24 legends who would do a bit of fundraising for us. By finding other people to do fundraising, they'll be raising funds from different groups of people than the usual regular donors. The target was to find 24 people to raise £500 each. This would bring us up to £12,000, which is just under half of what we need to complete the Saura project. Although I didn't quite manage to find 24 legends, we did absolutely smash the fundraising target this year. At the time of making this video, we're sitting on £13,494 raised for the year, which is more than double what we've been doing annually since I started TBF. And that wouldn't have been possible without the hard work and fundraising efforts of the following absolutely amazing human beings. My pal and former colleague Stephen Barber made the first big donation to TBF this year when he raffled off his Bentley Continental GT, with a share of the proceeds going to a prostate cancer charity as well as TBF. Musical legends Laura and Chris, aka DJ Front Left and Rough Stuff, over in Ireland put on a techno night, and the Sesh Gremlins of Galway came out to support the cause. Emma and Steve at number 3 Heworth Cafe in York raised a boatload of funds for us this year by making and selling handicraft cards and Easter bunnies, as well as roping in a crack team of knitting ladies, putting their nimble fingers to work producing a range of fabulous knitwear which was sold at the cafe. If you're ever in the area, please do pop in. Their sandwiches are the best in the north of England. The bulk of the funds that come into TBF this year came from Doku challenges. For anyone new to the channel, a Doku challenge is where we get tourists at Namaste Homestay in Nepal to walk a mile in the shoes of Nepali women, then pester their friends, family and colleagues for a small donation to the cause. The first of those challengers this year was Doku Fran, who gets a special mention for allowing me access to her Adobe account all year, as well as giving me some very valuable guidance in Premiere Pro, which I use to make these videos. Next up was Doku Dave from Preston, who enjoyed his Doku challenge so much that he did it twice. Well, actually he did it twice because I lost the footage of the first one. Whoops. We had Doku Hilda from the Netherlands, who was the first of the challengers to raise over £1,000. Smashed it, Hilda, well done. We had another European challenger who became quite the regular at Namaste Homestay, Doku Mathieu de Strasbourg. Merci beaucoup, mon ami. The challenges then went fully global with Doku Sunny of Sunny Life Hats fame. You'll be hearing a bit more about Sunny later on in the channel, as there's an exciting TBF collab coming up with Sunny Life Hats. But my biggest respect for all the Doku challengers definitely has to go to these last three: Doku Chris, Doku Wendy and Doku Eva. With a combined age of something like 215, these three really put themselves through it for the cause, so thank you all so much. Last but in no means least of the fundraising champions this year is my pal Alec, who I'll be picking up at the airport in Portugal next week. Alec went seriously above and beyond for TBF this year, transporting himself solely by human power, either canoeing or walking, from the west coast to the east coast of Scotland, traversing lochs, rivers, road and mountains, dragging his canoe along with him as he went. Alec raised a staggering £2,975 for the cause, which equates to 22% of all the fundraising this year. Well done, Alec. Part man, part canoe. So on the fundraising side of things, we definitely had our best year yet this year. However, on the progress side of things, on the Saura project, unfortunately not so much. This was because of the savage storm we had over in Nepal at the end of the monsoon season, which caused devastating floods and landslides, wiping out our intake tank and pump house in Saura, as well as damaging the Bimiri pipeline, making it unusable for a couple of weeks. Despite that fairly large setback though, I'm going into 2025 very positively. We've got the money sitting ready to rebuild our intake tank, as well as buying all the pipes we need, and now thanks to Doku Ellen's challenge and a very substantial donation from John Fraser in Aberdeen, we've got enough for the pump we need to buy for Saura too. Thank you so much, John, that's absolutely legendary, mate. We've got a bunch of exciting things coming up for TBF in 2025, which I'm dying to share with you all. On the good advice of my darling mother, I'm not allowed to mention publicly yet, but I know that it's going to be a game-changing year for TBF. If you'd like to get involved with a Doku challenge of your own, but don't plan on being in Nepal next year, thanks to the joint efforts of my friends Suresh, Simon and Andrew, we now have 3 Dokus sitting in London, which can be shipped anywhere in the UK to anyone who fancies putting themselves in the shoes of Nepali women and maybe walking up their local hill with 20 litres of water. Or if hill walking isn't your thing, maybe you're going to a festival next year and could walk 5 or 10 kilometres around the festival, carrying water and handing it out to thirsty ravers. It doesn't matter how you'd like to do your challenge, or even really how much funds or awareness you manage to raise. TBF is all about crowdfunding, small donations from as many people as possible, so the more challengers we get the better. Although I will say that anyone who hits their fundraising target will bag themselves a personalised TBF Doku Challenge hoodie. Thanks very much for watching, as always folks. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year when it comes. Paniwala out.